Okay, we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Open in prayer. This is part 2 of Midrash with Tony and Josh, friends. Right now, the friend is singular, and it's not really a friend. Really, he's my son. I want to be friends.
Capture them.
Yeah, but I still can't make known my will to him. So, Exodus 25:1 to 27:19. Let's pray. Yeshua, I pray you bless this Torah reading. I pray that you would direct us. I pray that we would understand your word. Open our eyes, just like Psalm 119 says, open our eyes that we might see wonderful things in the Torah. Just like Paul said, remove the veil that we would see Messiah. Direct us. Bless us. Yeah, make this edifying and build us up in accordance with the arrangement and the pattern that is revealed in this text. Thank you, Yeshua. In your name, amen. All right, where are we? What verse are we on?
25 to 23.
Oh, we made it to 23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because we talked about the last time we ended on as a chairman facing
Okay,
one another.
got it. Okay, got it.
He will speak from there, and so then I was like, oh, so he'll be sitting on there.
That's okay.
You should make it.
You'll be all right.
You should probably make it.
Yeah, just go in RV. Okay, so why don't you read 23 in English?
Okay. And you will make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits its length, and a cubit its width, and a cubit and a half its height. And you will overlay it with pure gold, and you will make for it a gold molding all around. And you will make for it a handbreadth rim all around, and you will make a gold molding for its rim all around. For it, so I can see it's gold around everything.
Yeah. So it's interesting. There's going to be a place to eat. So you're going to make a table out of acacia wood. Wood tends to be the base structure for a lot of these vessels and furniture. It's acacia wood. We're starting at verse 23. So Exodus chapter 25, starting at verse 23. Shulchan Atzei Shittim, you shall make a table, and you will make a table out of acacia wood. You'll arrange it. Okay, yeah. You're going to cover it in gold, pure gold, and you're going to make for it a border, a molding, a circlet. So there's a place that Yahweh eats. It's setting food in Yahweh's house before Yahweh. So we've kind of moved on our way. We're moving, and it seems like in a way, I think we're moving in order of holiness of vessels. So we start with the ark, and we're working our way to the shulchan, the table. Okay, so
which is right outside the.
Yeah, right outside the curtain. It is right outside the curtain.
Okay.
I don't know though. That's interesting. That's not the order of holiness, I would say, actually, because the altar of incense would be more holy. So maybe it's not order of holiness. Interesting. I wonder why this order. Okay.
Okay, and you will make 4 gold rings for it. And you will put the rings on the 4 corners where its 4 legs are. The rings will be near the rim as holders for poles to carry the table. And you will make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. And the table will be carried with them. And you will...
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So the same thing for the ark.
You can't touch those things.
You can't touch any of these vessels. You're not allowed to touch any of these vessels. You carry them essentially the poles. And part of the issue too is that's not true. The priests can touch them. The carriers are Levites.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just for breaking down and moving.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Where are we? What verse?
We're in 28.
Okay.
And you will make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold, and the table will be carried with them. And you will make its plates and its ladles and its pitchers and its bowls with which libations will be poured of pure gold.
Yeah.
And you will put on the table the bread of presence to be before me continually.
Okay. Sorry. Verse 30 is what you just read?
Yeah.
Always before me. That's what you read, 30? Mm-hmm. And you will give on the table bread of face or presence before me always. That's the literal translation. There's always going to be bread. The bread of presence, always this word to me. What is this indicative of, by the way? Let's actually, I'm going to go specific because I see a picture in my head when I say something very vague.
Yeah.
What is this indicative of in light of the first 3 days of creation?
I guess third day was vegetation.
Yeah.
So berries for meat and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's what it mirrors. It's the idea that God gave fecundity on day 3. He gave the plants that were already ready to be consumed. He made the place functional for the people that would live in it. So, yes, I would also say we have the menorah that's going to be described. Is the menorah described already, actually?
No, next.
Okay. Well, the menorah is going to be, the word used for the menorah was already used earlier. Yeah, the word that's used for the menorah here is related to the word used for the greater light, lesser light. Yeah.
So is this greater light or lesser?
It's interesting. I think it represents all the luminaries because you have one in the middle that's the greater.
Oh,
And
right.
the 6 less ones. So it just represents.
Oh, it is literally menorah.
Yeah, it's luminaries. No, but here's what's interesting. That corresponds to day
Was.
1. Day 1 and day 5 to a degree.
Right.
It's the site of these functionaries that are there. So you can start to see these correspondences. I'm just bringing them out because.
But they're not necessarily in the same order.
No, they're not in the same order, which is why I asked, what's the order?
Well, I guess in a way they are because it's heavens. God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was, right, so the heavens would be the holy of holies. And then just outside of there you get light and vegetation.
Sure. Or the idea that all of this is the heavens.
And washing too. Isn't there a bowl?
Yeah, that's why I say all of it's the heavens, because the water you have to pass through to get there, all of it's heaven. Because heavens is a plural term. Right. Shemayim. Shemayim is heaven of heavens. I would say the Holy Place is the heaven of heavens. Yeah. So, but here's what's interesting. And the curtain actually might be, that's interesting. So, but here's what you can say, and it's actually worth trying to parse out how to correlate these two. It mimics creation itself. It's the control room of creation. The tabernacle is a restoration of Eden. So it puts a priest, like a dome, it puts the priest back in the position of steering creation in the right way. Okay. All right, let's continue. So we have this always before me, verse 30, I think is the last thing we read, right?
Yep. And you will make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand will be made of hammered work. Its base and its branch, its cups, its buds, and its blossoms will be from it. And 6 branches will be going out from its sides. 3 branches of the lampstand from its one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand from its second side. Okay,
branches and buds and blossoms.
Fancy.
It's a tree. It's weird. It's depicted like it's a tree.
Oh yeah, right on. Yeah.
Did you have a note or something? Did you read different? You should read the NIRV. Gotcha. Okay. So what did we just read? 31?
31 to 32. Yeah, it's like a tree.
Side, yeah. Yeah.
So it's basically like a tree, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all about it's like basically shadow of heaven.
It's interesting that what is this tree? I don't know. We know that it's being presented like a tree. There are blossoms and flowers. We know that the garden has fecundity, and that's greenness, lifeness. For kind of the word that means just very, very. The life is potent. That is, we're not going to go there. I love how your mind works, but eventually, Gideon, when the temple is constructed, this is just the tabernacle. There will be places put into it for the priest to sleep and go and stay. So
Now, can they eat the bread of presentation?
Yes.
Priests. But certain priests are illegal, right?
I think it would be all priests are allowed to. It's all their share. And probably first dibs would probably be the priest serving.
Right.
Okay.
And who puts that there?
The Israelites are responsible
For
providing the means to make the bread, and then I think the priests make them.
In the temple.
Good question. I don't know. There's no ritual. There's no ritual. I don't think there is. I don't think that they have a ritual describable motion or something like this where a priest makes it. That's interesting. I don't know. It'd be worth looking into. Where do the priests make the bread? Which does the Torah tell us where the priests make the bread?
Yeah.
If the priests make the bread, if other people provide the bread, I'm pretty sure the priests would make it. Okay. It's interesting because you have this gold lampstand that they're supposed to make. It's a menorah. It's beaten, hammered gold. It's over it. Okay. I guess we're going to move to a 33.
Yeah. 3 almond flour cups will be on the one branch with a bud and a blossom, and 3 almond flour cups will be on the one branch with a bud and a blossom. Likewise, with the 6 branches going out from the lampstand. And on the lampstand will be 4 almond flour cups with its buds and its blossoms. And a bud will be under the 2 branches that come from it, and a bud under the 2 branches from it, and a bud under the 2 branches from it. Likewise, for the 6 branches coming out from the lampstand.
One of the things,
if somebody drew this.
One of the interesting things is these buds are shaped like almonds.
Right. Almond flowers.
Yeah, specifically. Interesting.
Almond flowers.
Well, we know that it's interesting. I don't know why the almond. It's the branch. So the word for stick or staff is the same word for tribe. When Aaron puts his staff in Numbers 17, his staff buds and almond branches come out and flowers come out and almonds are on it. So it's based on an almond. It's somewhat based on an almond tree. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it gets put there. Yeah, it's beautiful. So they're trying to make everything look like the garden. It's looking like God's place, the garden.
But it's in gold,
huh?
It's in gold,
which makes sense because it's a taboo. It's a replica.
Right.
It's costly.
Right.
Example. They actually there are beliefs, and you could look at Job. I think it's Job 38:17. I'm not certain, but it's. Basically, the idea is the foundation of the rakia, that area that holds back the waters, itself has precious gemstones. It's made out of gold and onyx and lapis lazuli and sapphire, this kind of stuff. So we're talking about and they're telling you how to make the. Okay, did we get to 35?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the bud will be under the 2 branches that come from it, a bud under the 2 branches from it, and a bud from it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then 36.
Their buds and their branches will be from it. All of it, one piece of pure gold hammered work.
Yep.
No wood.
No, this thing is pure. Yeah.
And you will make it 7 lamps, and its lamps will be set up, and it will give light in its base in front of it. And its snuffers and its fire pans will be pure gold. And it will be made from a talent of pure gold, with all these pieces of equipment. And see, make all according to their pattern, which you were shown on them. So a talent isn't just like a gold coin. It's like
no,
a big piece of gold.
Yeah, it's a hunk. It's a number. So it's a unit of measure, like a cubit, but a weight.
7,500.
Snake talent is 75.
Yeah, so when somebody owes that much talent, it's like millions of dollars. That dude in that parable.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of the reasons it's so outrageous. Is a dude who's forgiven millions of debt chokes somebody over 3 years.
Right. But also, I'm talking about the guy who buries his talent in the ground.
Oh yeah.
So that makes more sense of why he buried that. One gold piece.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it was one piece. It could all just amount to that weight.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But I thought I was literally imagining like a coin. That's what I mean.
I got you.
But yeah, if I had a talent, I might bury it.
We did 39.
Yeah. And 40. All the way to 40.
Okay. Or we got Seatai, Koha, Clean, LA. Oh wow, that's cool. Sorry, we did 40?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
In the way that like it says
Yeah, well, it's not more specifics. It just it gives more clarity is probably a better way to say it. It's more clear to an English speaker. So verse 40, read it again, Tony.
And see and make all according to their pattern, which you were shown in the mountain.
Yes.
See, why does it say that? What is that?
You will, to me, because it's an imperative. I suspect it's an imperative for Moshe, because he's the one on the mountain who saw the pattern. Inspect. You better make sure that this stuff, because Moshe's not constructing it.
Right.
He's going to inspect and make sure it looks like the pattern on the mountain.
Right.
You better see and make. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's according to
see to it that it's made according to.
But Tabni Tam, and according to their pattern. Another word for Tabni, it's not just a model or replica; it's a design. According to their design.
But he's talking about these items.
Yes, each of them have their own
lamp,
design.
the table, the fire pan, the snuffer.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Each of them have their own. In other words, he's being shown schematics.
Yeah.
For this thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where are we now in?
26.
Let's see. How do I notes? Did I work? Yeah. All right.
All right. In the tabernacle, you will make with 10 curtains. You will make them of finely twisted linen and blue and purple and crimson yarns with cherubim, the work of a skilled craftsman.
That's funny. Wait.
With cherubim.
Yes.
Design.
Yes. It's gonna
on
be
the curtain.
Yes.
That covers the Holy of Holies to the or the whole tent curtain.
Okay. Ve'ed HaMishkan ta'aseh. Mishkan to me would say the entire tent. Ve'ed HaMishkan
So this one has designs in it.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't no middle of the mall tent. This is the real deal.
Yeah, and it's depicted with all kinds of. Which, by the way, again, if this is evening, why would we expect that the Nachash is simply just a snake?
Right.
Part of the thing is what's the word for a flying snake?
No way, a cherubim.
A type of cherubim. Seraphim. They're the ones in Isaiah 6. Like that is literal, and it's the same word used.
But if that's not a cherubim,
it's a type of. It's a guardian. It's some kind of guardian. Yeah, it's like a throne guardian. They're associated with the barrier of heaven and earth. It's a strange concept, but it's there. Now they cover this tent in that. One of the things it is, it's an indicator. This is where heaven and earth meet. Yeah.
The length of the one curtain will be 28 cubits, and the width will be 4 cubits for the one curtain. One measure will be for all the curtains. So 28 cubits by 4 cubits. Okay. 5 curtains will be joined to one another, and 5 curtains joined to one another. And you will make loops of blue on the edge of the one curtain at the end in the set. And you will do the same on the edge of the end curtain in the second set. You will make 50 loops on the one curtain. You'll make 50 loops on the end of the curtain that is in the second set.
It's funny they use the words feminine. It's feminine. So use each to her sister. With the charuv, cherub, that's masculine. So each man to his brother's face. Remember?
Yeah.
This one says each sister to the woman's face.
Curtain.
Yeah, it's a feminine. I mean, it's feminine, so it makes sense.
And you will make 50 gold. And you will make 50 loops. Oh, I didn't do that. Loops are the opposite to one another. And you will make 50 gold clasps and join the curtains to one another with the clasps, so that the tabernacle will be.
What verse is that?
That's 6.
Okay. Asita Chamishim Karse Zahav Hibarta Unite. Yeah,
Is that
Chabar.
right?
Yeah, he was on there. I don't know if he's still on there. People jump on and off. I actually think sometimes when you blast, put people on blast, they're like,
Oh, I gotta go. I got something to do. Hey, man,
Chibarta Ishael Achito Karasim. Yeah, by the hooks. Karas. Scoop hook. Yeah, Hamishkan Echad. And that what's the end of verse 6 in English? How's it say?
And you will make 50 gold clasps and join the curtains to one another with the clasps, so that the tabernacle will be done.
Done? What is
Will
that?
be one, sorry.
One. That's what I thought. One.
So that the tabernacle will be one. So he done.
Yeah, okay. Bahaya Hamishkan Echad. You hear that word Echad? Shema Yisrael.
Oh, right.
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
One.
Yes. So it should be one. Now, what's interesting is the word Echad. I'm just saying this. It demonstrates that oneness can be a complex unity. And I only say that to say, you may read the Torah and be confused and say, well, why? How is it that Yahweh's in the cloud and interacting with Moshe, but Yahweh's also in Shemay Shemayim?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and how does that challenge him being Echad? No, it doesn't challenge him being Echad. It doesn't challenge him being joined. There's some kind of he's a complex unity. Okay? We're not going to say, for example, that that literally these are one entire piece. The hooks, the curtain, all right. They're joined together to produce. Yeah, to produce a oneness, something like that. So I'm just demonstrating that the word echad is not as black and white as some people make it. In other words, people will say, "Look, if this thing showed up there, it can't be God. God is just one person. He never."
Right.
They try to make the oneness of God less complicated than it is in the Torah.
Okay. And you will make curtains of goat hair for a tent over the tabernacle. And you'll make them 11 curtains. The length of the one curtain will be 30 cubits.
Sorry, what verse?
That's 7 and 8 now.
Okay.
The length of the one curtain will be 30 cubits, and the width will be 4 cubits for the one curtain. One measure will be for the 11 curtains. So on top of the cherubim tent, they'll make goat curtains.
That's verse 7?
Yeah, that was 7 and 8.
Verse 7 is, yeah. By Ohel, all on Mishkan. Interesting. For the tent. Female goat. So wait though. You will make curtain. Okay. You will make curtains. Goat curtains. Okay. Goat hair curtains. For the Ohel, which is different from Mishkan. We've been using the word Mishkan over and over again for tent. What do they say? What does 7 say in the LEB?
For a tent over the tabernacle.
For a tent over, yeah. Le Ohel al Hamishkan. Ashte Esrei. Okay. Okay. And then 8. They'll make it this length and width. That's interesting. Okay. Verse 9.
And you will join 5 curtains together and 6 curtains together. You will fold double the 6th curtain at the front of the tent. And you will make 50 loops on the edge of the one curtain at the end of the first set, 50 loops on the edge of the curtain in the second set.
Yeah.
And you will make 50 bronze clasps, and you will put the clasps in the loops and join the tent, so that it will be one.
Just stop.
Not done.
11.
One and done.
Va'asita karsei nechashet. That's the brass. Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, so that's another.
Alulo. Lie. Okay. Varta and how? Okay. The Sarah.
And that will be one. And the surplus in the curtains of the tent will be an overhang.
Yeah.
The surplus half curtain will hang over the back of the tabernacle. And a cubit from one side and a cubit from the other side, In the surplus, in the length of the curtains of the tent will be hung over the sides of the tabernacle, equally to cover. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, so the Mishkan it's a complicated structure. Huh? It's not just, there's layers.
Right. So underneath all that, you can't see them. You can only see the cherubim stuff from inside.
It seems like it.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And you will make a covering for the tent of red dyed ram skins. And
What verse are we?
Verse 14.
Okay.
And you will make a covering for the tent of red dyed ram skins and a covering of fine leather to go above. And you will make the frames for the tabernacle of acacia wood as uprights. The length of the frame will be 10 cubits, and the width of the one frame will be 1.5 cubits. And you will make 2 pegs for the one frame for joining each to another, and likewise for all the frames of the tabernacle.
Yeah. You're in 18 now?
Yeah.
Oh, southward.
I feel like you should have started it.
Well, no, it's like they're building outward. It's interesting. They're building outward.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's interesting. And you'll make the frames for the tabernacle with 20 frames for the south side, and you'll make 40 silver bases under the 20 frames, with 2 bases under the one frame, for its 2 pegs, and 2 bases under the next frame for its 2 pegs. And for the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, there will be 20 frames, and there are 40 silver bases, with 2 bases under the one frame and 2 bases under the next frame.
Remember the cardinal directions are being mentioned. It is important. You don't just erect the tabernacle in which way.
Right.
You erect it according to specified direction, cardinal directions. You enter from the east. They'll tell you this will let you know where the table is to be set.
Right.
Yeah. You're following the movements, by the way. One of the reasons you enter from the east is you're mimicking the elements of the cosmos themselves, going from east to west.
Do they leave west?
They leave eastward. But the whole point, the whole thrust of this arrangement is to move inward, right? To move eastward. Or to move westward. You start at the east and you move westward, and the goal is only goals. So it's kind of set back.
When the Israelites were east?
When they're wandering, they're just going to go in circuitous route in the direction of change. And sometimes that direction change when they made it. They were kind of going, and they were not going at a westward route, but then they went. It's complicated because that has less to do with how did they take over the land, and more to do with how do they navigate the sacred space, how do they navigate the space they set up for Yahweh. Regardless of what direction their army was moving, you always move in these directions inside the tabernacle, inside the courtyard.
And for the rear of the tabernacle on the west, you'll make 6 frames, and you'll make 2 frames for the tabernacle corners at the rear. They will be double at the bottom, and they will be completely together on its top to the one ring. It will be likewise for the 2 of them. They will be for the 2 corners. It will be for the 2 corners.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be 8 frames in their silver bases, 16 bases, and 2 bases under the one frame, and 2 bases under the next frame.
What verse are we in?
26. You will make 5 bars of acacia wood for the frames, and on the side, for the frames on the side of the tabernacle. And 5 bars for the frames on the second side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frames on the side of the tabernacle at the rear on the west. The bar in the middle.
It's funny. The word for west is yama, seaward, towards the sea. This is the giant sea.
Right. And the bar in the middle and the midst of the frames will run from end to end.
What verse is that?
That was 28.
Okay.
And you will overlay the frames with gold, and you will make their rings of gold as holders for the bars, and you will overlay the bars with them. And you will erect the tabernacle according to its plan, which you have been shown.
Okay, what? And that was that's verse 30.
Right.
I'm thinking. That's verse 30.
And you will erect the tabernacle according to its plan, which you
Yeah.
have shown in the middle.
Okay, yeah. Behakimota, you will cause her to stand the tabernacle. Kamishpato, according to the, you could say command, I guess. It's not really, mishpat is justice or regulation. According to the regulation, to share areta, that you saw on the mountain. Okay. Okay, 31.
And you will make a curtain of blue and purple and crimson yarns and finely twisted linen, the work of a skilled craftsman, and you will make it with cherubim. And you will put it on 4 acacia pillars overlaid with their gold hooks on 4 silver bases.
Mhm.
And you will put the curtain under the clasps, and you will bring the ark of the testimony there inside the curtain.
Sorry, what verse you on?
32.
32.
And the curtain will separate for you between the holy and the most holy place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Hibdilah. Yeah, it's divide. That word is an important word too because it's a word used for creating. When God created, He divided. Hibdilah, curtain lachem. Vein hakodesh, vein kodesh hakodeshim. Yeah, it's between the holy and the holy holies.
Okay.
This is like Song of Psalms, the holy of the holies. Right, Song of Psalms, the holy of the holies. Where are we at?
And you will 35.
35.
I'm sorry, 34. And you will put the atonement cover on the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And you will place the table outside the curtain, and the lampstand opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle.
Yep.
And you will put the table on the north side. So they're okay, but they're in the tent, but they're on opposite sides of the wall.
That's so funny.
North and south.
This word has occurred. We've seen this word a lot occur in this rib. It means the side or the other half. Have you noticed the other beam or the half of like verse 35? What's verse 35? Is that what you just read?
Yeah. And you will place the table outside the curtain, and the lampstand opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle.
It says opposite.
Yeah.
On the side of the tabernacle. What is it?
Opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle.
Okay.
And you'll put the table on the north side.
So the word for side, it's so funny. It means half. There's different words for side in Hebrew. Different words are being used here, being translated side. The word tsela is side, but it means the rib. It's like the opposite plank, the other half.
Okay.
Okay, in the structure. So it's just interesting to note the way that people say that chavah was made from the tsela of Adam. It could be translated. They'll say rib. That's the only time it's ever translated rib.
Okay.
Every other time it's translated like side or other half, the other joist in the structure. You know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like man and woman, other half.
Mm-hmm.
You will make for the entrance of the tent a screen of blue and purple and crimson yarns and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. And you will make for the screen 5 acacia pillars, and you will overlay them with gold with their golden hooks, and you will cast for them 5 bronze bases.
Okay.
So now you're getting further away, so it's not silver bases, it's bronze bases.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to read it. Exactly. That's exactly right. The more precious, the closer you are to the holy. Hmm? I don't know about the strength of the metals. The cost of it is what's in view.
Yeah. Not in silver.
Not than silver. Silver's costlier than bronze. Gold's costlier than silver. So we have until. Oh, did we already go? Oh, we only have until 27. We're almost done.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's do it.
What verse?
Are we 27:1 now?
Yeah. You will make the altar of acacia wood. So now he's on the altar.
Yeah.
Bronze.
Outside of it, yeah.
Okay, so and you will make the altar of acacia wood 5 cubits long and 5 square, and its height will be 3 cubits. And you will make its horns on its 4 corners, and its horns will be of one piece with it. And you will overlay it with bronze.
Mm-hmm.
And you will make its pots for removing its fat-soaked ashes, and its shovels, and its handles, and its forks, and its fire pans.
Okay, wait. What verse was that?
That was 3.
Sorry. Okay, the dash. Yeah, the dash. No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. All right, go ahead.
You will make all its equipment with bronze. And you'll make for it a grating, a work of bronze network. And you'll make on the network 4 bronze rings on the 4 ends. And you will put it under the ledge of the altar below, and the network will be up to the middle of the altar.
Okay, interesting. Car. Okay. Car covenant. Okay, go ahead.
And you will make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and you will overlay them with bronze.
Yep.
And the poles will be.
What's up, Chris? Okay, and notice
What's up, dude?
we did move to bronze.
Right. So now we're outside though too, right?
Yeah, we are outside, which is interesting because this itself is an indicator too. You often hear people teach, and this actually can be an indication for it, that Hasatan was not very high up. Some people will say that he's the most high up.
Oh, interesting. Because it's bronze.
Yeah, the word for the serpent is like literally nachash. It's bronze. It's further up. Yeah. Now that could be. It could be a derogatory thing, but it also it seems that. Yeah, it makes sense actually. Usurper and not right. This is also you know what that correlates with. Levites. The highest level of Levite is still Levite. So interesting.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You make the poles and overlay them with bronze, and the poles will be put into the rings, and the poles will be on the 2 sides of the altar when carrying it.
What verse are we?
That was 7.
Okay.
You will make it hollow with boards, as it was shown to you on the mountain. So they will do.
Can't set. Okay. Okay, and you will make the court of the tabernacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. You will make the courtyard of the tabernacle. For the south side will be hangings for the courtyard of finely twisted linen, 100 cubits long for the one side, and its 20 pillars, and their 20 bases will be bronze.
Yeah.
The hooks of the pillars and their bands will be silver.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise for the north side, along the length will be hangings 100 cubits long, and its 20 pillars and their bases will be bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands will be silver. And the width of the courtyard for the west side will be hangings of 50 cubits. There are 10 pillars and there are 10 bases. And the width of the courtyard for the east side towards sunrise will be 50 cubits.
Mm-hmm.
And hangings for the shoulder will be 15 cubits with their 3 pillars and their 3 bases. And 15 cubits of hangings will be for the second shoulder with their 3 pillars and their 3 bases. And for the gate of the courtyard, there will be a screen of 20 cubits of blue and purple and crimson yarns, and finely twisted linen, being worked with an embroidery, with their 4 pillars and their 4 bases. And all the pillars of the courtyard, all around, will be banded with silver, and their books will be silver, and their hooks will be silver, and their bases will be bronze. So the pillars and pillars all around will be banded with silver. The length of the courtyard will be 100 cubits, and the width 50 cubits, and the height 5 cubits, of finely twisted linen with their bronze bases. Bronze will be for all the equipment of the tabernacle, in all its service, and all its pegs, and all the pegs of the courtyard.
Okay. Oh yeah, because we only go 27:19. Okay. So wow, we finished this week's Torah reading. I think there's a lot that could be said regarding what do these things represent. How do we understand them? Because this is on the group How Church Works. It's interesting. They didn't tell us how to make the altar of incense.
No,
Interesting.
making oil for the sins coming up next.
Yeah. The altar of incense is not included. Did we already go through it?
I don't know. I don't think consecrating.
Maybe it did go in order of holiness and we just missed it. Yeah, I'm curious about that. So,
Maybe they mentioned it briefly.
yeah, it might have been very quickly. Let's see. In the tabernacle. Yeah. Table and the lampstand is that one. For making the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, it just seems to just say the Ark. It doesn't seem like it explains the altar of incense at all. Why is that not included? Interesting. Well, I think that this pattern, first off the top, the pattern that this is all based on. Oh man. The pattern that this is all based on is actually how a lot of people feel, I think. The pattern that this is all based on has significance for how the church should understand herself, for how the community and people of God should understand themselves. What are we supposed to mimic? How are we supposed to move? Again, Yeshua is the fulfillment of the pattern that was shown to Moses on the mountain. That pattern is the basis of how we construct the tabernacle complex. That pattern is the basis of how we make mankind. That pattern is the basis of the role of Messiah. When Messiah is said to have fulfilled the Torah, it does not mean that he kept kosher or kept the commands of the Torah. It means that he actually manifested the aim of the Torah. The thrust of the Torah is this construction. It is God will come and dwell in this construction. And he will come and dwell in this construction. So the very fact of what is the Messiah supposed to be actually is informed by that pattern. And I would say that you can see correlations between each of the elements and vessels in the tabernacle and correlations between the elements in creation itself in the cosmos in Genesis.
So what's the bronze like then for eating?
It's still precious.
Was the outer edge or something? I guess that makes sense. The closer to the center you get the trees.
Yeah, which is weird. Bronze does tend to be
faces
associated.
the east.
Yeah, it tends to be associated with the outer parts. Now, again, I think it's worth looking into. I think Shlomo's
The
temple.
sword's bronze? Unguarded?
I don't think so. But I think in Shlomo's temple, a lot of things that were bronze in the tabernacle become gold. So part of the issue is the proliferation of wealth. But it's an interesting thing to think about. One of the things that it should show us, which I'm interested, I don't know why we don't have the incense, the altar of incense revealed. Actually, I want to check that. Altar of incense construction. Where will that be in Exodus? Curious about that. Wow, we're not going to hit that. So till 37, but it says he made it according to what pattern though?
It says, and you will make an altar of burning incense in 30.
In chapter 30?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
The altar of
So
incense
30.
is
We're at the end of. I see. So why did it wait? Interesting. It's going to wait. I don't know why it waits until.
So it's 3 more chapters.
So
Maybe who can use it? No.
one thing to remember is this. Actually, I think the Lord's reminding me of this. The priests are the ones who arrange this stuff and navigate it. Okay, after it's rightly arranged. What is the Messiah navigating in Revelation when John sees him? Messiah appears as a high priest that's just like Yahweh in Ezekiel 126, but he moves in and out of the lampstand, which is the 7 churches. The lampstand. He's the one who says, I am the one who moves in. It's very weird language. He moves in and out of the lampstand,
Right.
and he holds it. And each
The menorah.
Yeah, and each head of the menorah in
Is a
Revelation
different
is a different church.
And
He's the one who wields it. He's the one who navigates it.
No.
So, so one of the things that it shows us is the church is itself spoken of as part of the vessels, part of the temple. Sometimes the vessels, sometimes the temple complex itself, but it's built up by Messiah, and he himself is part of it. That's part of the incarnations. He himself is the one who lives in it, and he comprises it itself. And you could imagine with this complex unity I've described, you would put these things together so that it becomes echad, that all of the tabernacle, when it's put in its right place, and Yahweh fills it, it could be said to be echad. Now, we say, well, why does that matter? Well, this agenda of the Messiah to make all things one, to join all things in heaven and earth. It is to put everything in its strange, peculiar knitting together and making, according to this Tavnit, but join them all into one singular purpose, to fill all things. This pattern that informs Moses on this mountain is the same pattern that informs Messiah to build the church. Messiah is going about the job of building the church. He, in a way, this is done on a macrocosmic scale where individual members are built into a larger structure, but it's also done on an individual scale where an individual believer functions like a mishkan, like a tent.
Right.
So when it says they're a new creation, who sets up that new creation? The priest. Same thing as Hebrews. So it's Yeshua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
This is helpful for us too, because one of the things we have to realize is the solution in the new covenant, which mirrors the Day of Atonement. Okay, the solution, first of all, is atonement. Atonement so there's the sprinkling of blood that precedes the glory filling. Okay? The blood making atonement and Yahweh filling. All right? Yahweh's the glory of Yahweh localizing and filling. Right? That's the pattern over and over again.
Okay, so then baptism would be priestly wash.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, that'd be a way to see it. So
So
then you have this atonement. The blood actually prepares the space itself for Yahweh to fill it. Okay, on the Day of Atonement, it's a day of kind of. You'll see this in the end of Exodus too, by the way. But in the Day of Atonement, where does atonement start? It's a process. The Holy of Holies. So you could actually say that atonement takes place in the innermost place before the rest is atoned for. In a similar way, Messiah is going through this process, but right now we're in, you could say, an age, or we're in a space of time where in that process he's only cleansing the Holy of Holies. The rest is not being cleansed right now. This explains the dichotomy between the Holy Spirit being in the conscience and the flesh still producing vile wicked thoughts. It's not being taken care of yet.
right.
So, in a way, you could say that, and remember with Ephesians, the flesh is not just the outer body. The flesh, you could say, is it includes the heart and the mind,
Right.
but not the conscience. You could say
So the
that
conscience wouldn't be the heart and the mind.
no, the conscience is its own. No, the conscience is its own location. It's located within, in the Greek understanding, it's located within the mind, which is located within the heart, which is located within soon. And more loosely, you could say, when I go to my bedroom, you could say I'm in the house. In the same way, you could say that because Yeshua dwells in my conscience, he dwells in my heart too. But he specifically is in my conscience, the same way I'm specifically in my bedroom. That kind of thing. And so you can see this tug of war. This is why we're at odds. Because Messiah has specifically made atonement for our inmost man. Conscience. And he is patiently working through the conscience, working outward. Okay, that's the new creation setup right now. Is that in my conscience I am this renewed man. But we still get to see power flow from that innermost place to the outer part. So I'm not saying that you
Right.
don't
And you still
victory or-
you don't like just do the things the outer want.
No, but this helps explain the tension between
Right.
the outer man and the inner man. It explains, well, why is there a war? Why are my members at war with themselves?
Right.
This might be an example of saying, what would the Day of Atonement look like after a king, an unfaithful king, has defiled the temple, idols, and all this kind of stuff? Okay, atonement. You would want atonement would start in the Holy of Holies, but there still be at odds. This disparity of experience. It's like this idea of rededicating the temple. It's not the way Baptists mean I go and get on the altar and rededicate myself to whatever. But it is like you can't, like the temple itself undergoes rededication at various times. So that's what we're thinking about. But it'll do so according to this arrangement.
Those are like post-exile, right?
No,
Or just post-disobedience.
Pre-exile. Yeah, pre-exile. Rededication happens post-exile, and the Maccabees help affect rededication, Hanukkah, right?
Right.
But rededication takes place under multiple kings. Josiah pursues rededication.
Oh, right.
Hezekiah pursues rededication. Various kings will do that, and in varying capacities. Some will do it and not eradicate high places. Some will do it and they'll seek, like, and here's the irony: the courtyard is like the camp of Israel. So can you really say that you've not gotten rid of all your idols? Aren't you still threatening the house? So there would be some kings who are like, I'm not going to destroy the high places, but I will try to rededicate the temple complex, this kind of thing. And that's frowned upon because it's inevitable at that point.
Right.
It's still being put on the eldest face. That's the argument, right? It's an argument. This shows you that Deuteronomy reveals to us. Do we really know what the Ten Commandments mean? Deuteronomy shows us we don't, because we have to meditate on it. We don't actually know what it means, don't put other gods in my face. We don't know what it means, don't kill. That's why we know these other things. Hey, when you don't build a parapet on your roof, and somebody climbs on your roof, which roofs are flat like that, and they fall off, you violated do not kill. You're guilty for that, for not having a parapet. But if you put a parapet up and they fall off, you don't violate the command. So the point is that it says we don't know what the commands are. Don't put other gods in my face. Shlomo is very wise. He's incredibly wise. Solomon is very wise. Here's how he reasons out the first command. I've built, literally, the king who is anointed, who builds the temple for Yahweh Jibal, and Yahweh builds it, is the king who introduces idolatry on a massive scale.
Right.
And when he does it, he keeps idolatry outside of even Zion, even Jerusalem. He builds high places on the outskirts of Judea for his wives. So what it is that it was on your face.
Yeah, and brings them right up to the line.
So the question is,
And then other kings who aren't as wise bring them right past the line.
It goes, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and eventually, by the time you get to Ezekiel, idols are in my house. They're driving me from this place, like a pathogen that spread, like leprosy. Yeah. And by the way, the word that's used for tzara'at, for leprosy, that's a word that means an abrasive, a contagion of death that works its way in. That same word tzara'at is real translated mildew. Same section.
Right.
Attacks the house or something. All right. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground. We're pretty close. Do you want to just wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're ready.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Torah. Please teach us. Please give us understanding. This pattern is repeated so much. This pattern is you're here walking Moses through so many things that you showed on the road. How do you continue to instruct us from this? Really continue to give us insight about your heart in this sense. I pray that we would see the pattern and how does the church fulfill this word in how this, how did you, or how and why did you continue to engage in these things? And what does it mean? And how deep does it go? And what, so reading easier, the comparisons and the ties from this to Genesis 1 are pretty deep. Really to show us, really would really speak to us. Thank you for this. Thank you for the good word. Thank you that it is a map that points us to you. It would speak to us. I give you thanks for everybody who's listening. I give you thanks for the opportunity to read your word together, study the word together, Yeshua. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for our brother. Thank you for his faithfulness. Thank you for kids being in here. Speak to kids. Speak to all of us. Please, Yeshua. For the answer like this. Thank you, Yeshua. So we. Amen.
All right. Peace, guys.
Your joy.